It certainly is, especially when you got players who've come back from some long-term injuries as well that you have to manage. But it's the same for every club. I do find it inconceivable that the first week of the season you're allowed to play 120 minutes in a game after a game on a Saturday. But that's what it is, and you have to deal with it. There's a lot of ice going around on the coach on Tuesday night on the way back. So I was worrying that I might have to register Big Bob at the Kitman on Thursday morning. But no, I've got a smile on my face today because there's a lot more bodies on the training ground, which is really good.
What is the situation with injuries?
Yeah, well, Maxim Collins trained today. Andreas Bieland has trained today. Josh McEachran's back in training. So, the only exceptions at the moment. There's a couple of dead legs. Ledesma got a dead leg in the third or fourth minute of the game. Ryan Wood's got a dead leg as well, but they're ones that they can just run off, and they'll be fully training tomorrow. But with the exception of Alan McCormack, who was a little bit sore, so we're still waiting to find out the diagnosis of that. It looks like a heel injury, but. As I say, with him and Judgy, I think they're the only two out at the moment, which is really good.
So does that mean those players who are back and fit, are they available? The likes of Bieland and Collin?
Collin's definitely available. Andreas is back in full training. It'll be touch and go whether he's available. Oh, sorry, Johan Barbe is the other one who's still a little bit sore with his ankle. So Johan and Andreas Bieland are the two. Where it the game Saturday might come too quickly.
Bit of added spice ahead of this game after what happened back in the last season?
No, not really. I've got a lot of respect for Mick, his team and Terry Connor. As we all said at the end of the season, or after the game, it was one of them things that happens in football and you move on. And I've met with Mick before, and it just shows the type of person that he is. That he phoned Alan Judge on the evening as well. So no, there's no extra spice. It's just a game that we want to win. We don't want to go through the first week without to win. And we want a better performance as well.
How important is it? I mean, for those outside of football, to get that first W next to the name of the season as early as possible? Yeah, it's important because it gives you confidence. It gives you a start, and we have to perform better than we did last week at Huddersfield Town. We controlled the game on Tuesday night, but weren't clinical enough or clever enough in the final third, and that's something that we'll be working on and getting ready for Saturday. Watching Scott Hogan at the end of both games, actually, I know he played the last 15 minutes plus extra time on Tuesday and then on last Saturday. He looks like he's a man who's desperate to put the ball in the back of the onion bag, and very, very annoyed that he's not had the opportunity yet to do that. I think if he was here most days, he looks like that most days. If he's not scoring goals, he's not happy, and that's his personality, and I like him for it. He can get frustrated if he's not getting chances or not scoring goals. But that's what you want. You want somebody hungry to score goals, and he's certainly got that hunger and desire. When you've got matches Saturday, Tuesday, as this schedule now puts you in the middle of, ideally, as a manager, do you start assessing or saying, well, okay, there's another game coming in very short order? Does that have an effect on your team selection going into this particular game, or do you just put the best team out there that you can? I think it did for Tuesday, obviously, for obvious reasons, with the journey on the coach and what the game took out of some of the players on Saturday. But this is, our first home game of the season, and we want to put on a performance for our supporters who've travelled in the numbers and gone home unrewarded, and their support's been fantastic, so we want to make sure that Saturday's right and we put in a good performance. What about looking outside of the club at the moment? Names coming in. I mean, it's still everyone seems to be busy. Every club that you speak to seems to be looking quite a lot, looking for the same sort of player. Yeah, they do, and we're no different. We've been looking for a long time, as everybody knows, but it does get tough, and there's reports out there at the moment saying that Premier League clubs want in excess of £1 million for a loan fee, which just shows how difficult it is now to get players in. But we're certainly trying. How important is it when you do that, though, that you don't affect the dynamic of the squad? It's got to be the right person as well as the right position.
No, it has to be the right fit for what we're about as a football club. We talk about the. We're thankful to Matthew with the finances that he puts into the club, but the club also needs to try and become sustainable. So to be paying the sorts of money that seem to be out there and being asked for is beyond us. But what we do is find players that believe we can develop and get better, like we have done. Over a number of years, Jake Bidwell from Everton, Sergi Canos last year. So. We know we can. Alex Pritchard as well as another one who's gone on to better things. We know we can develop them if they get into the building and they'll have championship experience.
How close are you?
Yeah, we're very close with a couple. Saturday might come too soon, but if I go and see the directors of football this afternoon with the meeting I'm having with them, if they might have a little present for me, which would be nice.
So you think there may be someone new for the weekend?
There may be, but we'll just wait and see.
You've got quite a lot of obviously players in the midfield areas as well. A lot of competition for places in there. How does that play out on the training ground?
Well, it makes it competitive. I said at the start of pre-season, from day one you're playing for positions. You're playing for the shirt in the team. I can only pick 11 of you. Pre-season, I'm everybody's friend because I'm not picking a team. That's it. The first week starts and then I'll start picking teams. So, you'll see a few bottom lips drop a little bit and a few big smiles. And it's down to the ones with a smile to keep the shirts and the ones with the bottom lip to make sure their attitude's right to get a place.
And Harley Dana, skipper?
Yeah, he's been captain for the first two games and, he's been as frustrated as everybody with the first performance and then the result of the Exeter game, and he's willing to put it right. He knows he's still learning as a leader, and he's been asked questions, and he wants to be educated into being the best possible player he can be.
You've won an armband. What does it take to be a captain? It's different in football, obviously, from other sports. Cricket, there's a lot of tactical involvement. Rugby, likewise, but football, you're still hugely involved. What qualities do you need to be a good captain?
I think to be a good captain, what you don't want is to get more followers. You want to create more leaders. So it's the job of the captain to help develop other leaders within the team. If you develop just followers, then you're not going to be successful. So our job is to develop more leaders within the group, and Harley knows that, and he's certainly looking forward to that challenge.
And finally, how closely have you been watching the Olympic football tournament, in particular, with one of your players involved?
Yes, my Brazil flag was out last night. Unfortunately, South Africa and Iraq let us down, and they've qualified for the next round, but I've quickly changed that to a Nigerian flag.
He'll be getting a lot out of it, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic for him, and he's got the armband over there as well. So it's very special for him, and I'm obviously saying it in a jovial way.
But you'd like to see him back.
I would love to see him back, but I would also love to see him back with a gold medal around his neck as well, which would be fantastic. But it's a great experience for him. And they've got to the quarterfinals as well, so a couple of games away from a medal.